Hello guys, and welcome to Java tutorial 4 for beginners. In this tutorial, what we're going to be doing is learning how to import a Java library, learning how to create an object from a class, and then learning how to get information from the keyboard and how to create variables. So let's get started. What we want to do is we want to save the file as a Java file. We're going to call this one keyboard input.java. And make sure that we save this inside of our Java folder. Next, what I want to do is we want to go ahead and actually create the Java class. It's going to be public class keyboard input. And then we're going to open and close the class body. Next, what we want to do is we want to leave a comment up here with the author and the file name and description. So the author is going to be CKG Games. The file name is going to be keyboard input.java, and the description. So what we need to do is import a Java library and then create object from class. We need to also create variables. And we need to go ahead and get input from keyboard. Alright, so with that said and done, the first thing we need to do is we need to go ahead and import a Java library, and that is typically done before the class is declared. Okay, so what we do, we use the keyword import, and then we need the package name. So the package is going to be java.util, and then the class that we want to import is going to be scanner. So the entire path for this class is java.util, then the scanner class. Okay. Next, what we'll do, we want to go ahead and create the main method. You can string array, call this args. And then we go ahead and open and close the body for main. And remember that main is create to start application. Create a main method to start the application. So next one, we want to talk about variable. Alright, so how do we create a variable in Java? And I'm going to put it inside of a multi-line comment. So variables have a type. Alright, it's either going to be primitive type or class type, and then we're going to see this when we go ahead and create an instance of class scanner. All right, so that's scanner is considered a type here. So next thing you want to do is, so I want to say that the variables have a name, and it's called an identifier, and identifiers are used to store and retrieve data from memory. Alright, so remember that everything that we are getting or storing is coming from memory. Alright, so we create a variable which is just a box to hold information. We initialize it with the information that we need that is stored in memory, and then we want to retrieve it. We use the identifier, which is a symbolic name for that memory location to retrieve that data from. All right, and this is done through the assignment operator. So for us to actually store a value in a variable, we need to use the assignment operator, which is the equal to sign that we use in math. All right, and this is used to store value in a variable. And then the operators have something called operand. So an operand is the arguments that are needed for the operator to perform a task. All right. So next, what we want to do is we actually want to go ahead and we want to create a variable of type scanner. So we create variable of type scanner. And remember that scanner is going to be a class. All right. So what we do is we're going to say that scanner is the type, the variable is going to be scanner, or the object is going to be scanner. So what we're saying is that take this class and we're going to create an object of it. All right. So when we do something like this and we stop this, this is called declaration. So what it's saying is that we have declared a variable to hold an object of scanner, but so far the object has not been created. To create the object, what we do is we use the new keyword. All right, so we're going to say that the scanner, which is the object, is going to equal, so we're going to fill it now with a new scanner object, scanner, and they're going to do system.in. So system.in is the standard input, and here what we're doing is we are initializing the object. All right, so we're filling the object with the necessary components to make it do the task that we want it to do. Next, what we want to do is we want to go ahead and create variables of type integer. All right, so we're going to create the variables of type integer. Spell that right. All right, so integers, so integer types in Java can only hold whole numbers, and we're going to explain this more in later tutorials. So what I mean by whole numbers, I mean something like this. So we're going to say 1, 2, 3, -3, 0, -2, -1. All right, so these are whole numbers. These are integer whole numbers. So what can integer types not hold? So integer types cannot hold real numbers. So Java has different types, right? Different primitive types to hold different types of numbers. So real number is going to be something like 1.1, right? 1.1 or -1.5. So what happens is if you take a value like this and you try to store it inside of an integer type, what's going to happen is that it's going to go ahead and drop the 0.5, so you actually lose information. All right, and we're going to see this in later tutorials. All right, so variables of type integer are created using the int keyword. All right, and there are other types of whole number variables that we can create using things like keywords like short, byte long, and we've seen int already, and these are called primitive types as explained earlier. So now what we want to do is actually want to create variables that are going to go ahead and hold the values that we collect from the keyboard. So we're going to go ahead and, so remember, to create a variable, first thing we need is the type. So it's going to be of type int, and then we need to give it an identifier, which is the name of the variable, so we can either put information into it or retrieve the information. So we're going to call this one first number, and remember that here we're just declaring it, but we're not putting any value in. So declaring variable shell. Alright, and then here we're going to have another variable. It's going to be second number, and here we're also just creating shell. Alright, and then here we're going to create another variable, and it's going to hold the sum of the first and the second variable. Right, so this one is going to hold the first number plus the second number. Alright, so now what we need to do is we need to go ahead and create some type of prompt to tell the user that the user is going to input two numbers. Alright, so here what we can do is we can use the system.out.print and say enter first number. Alright, so this is going to be string. This is going to prompt the user to enter first number. Right, and then what we're going to do is that we're going to take the number that we collect from the keyboard and put it inside of that number. And remember, to do that we have to use the assignment operator. So we're going to say that the first number is going to equal scanner dot next int. So the next int is a method. Remember, I said a method is something that has multiple statements in it and does a task. So a method performs a task, and what this next int does is collect an integer from the keyboard and stores it inside of this variable. So we're collecting this right here, collects a number from the keyboard, and we're using the equal to operator to store that number in first number here, first number variable here. All right, and here what we're doing here is we're just giving the user, we're prompting the user. All right, so we're giving them a prompt, something that they can respond to. All right, and here we are collecting info from keyboard, and then we're storing it inside of first number. And then we have to do the same thing, so I can just go ahead here and copy this and come here, and we can paste here and change this to second number. So enter second number, and then we can just go ahead also and copy this, and we can also paste it here. Sorry, I'm trying to save a little bit of time, and we can change this to second number. So now that we have this, we need to go ahead and store the numbers that we collect inside of sum. So we're going to say that sum is going to equal, right, the first number plus the second number. All right, so now what we're saying is that take whatever numbers is inside of the first number and the second number. Once you're done adding these two, store this inside of the variable sum. Next we want to do is we actually want to go ahead and print out the value in sum. So we're going to say system.out.println, right? We're going to say that sum is going to equal, then what we want to do is we want to go ahead and concatenate. So concatenate means to put together, and we want to concatenate that with sum. So the value is going to be inside of sum, right? And now that we've done that, we can go ahead here and hit the compile button at the top, compile the program, and then we can go ahead and execute. So once you execute, you're gonna get this. All right, so you're gonna get this right here, and what it's gonna do is gonna prompt you. It's gonna say enter the first number, and it's gonna keep waiting until you enter the first number. So what we want to do is we want to enter 90 for the first number, and then hit enter, and it's gonna ask you to enter the second number. Now you can enter any number that you want. You can put 598, right? And then when you go ahead and hit enter, it's going to say that sum is going to equal 688, which is the addition for these two values. Alright guys, this will be it for this tutorial. I hope you liked it. I hope that the information was accurate enough for you guys to comprehend what was going on. If you guys like the tutorial, please subscribe to my channel and like my videos. I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Bye bye.